Hello, everyone. This is Lady Treasure. Welcome to Penny Lane. Penny Lane is my umbrella company of family edutainment, largely for children between new birth to 12 years old. But I focus, my sweet spot is early childhood education. I started off, it was my first job at 17 years old at a work study program in Lakenheath, England, on the Air Force Base there. And 51 years later, I'm not working in daycares every year of those 51 years, but I worked with children, parents, churches, schools, private and public, and I opened 2 schools myself in my lifetime. And they're just my life. I know them and they know me. And I have a natural gift. I was born with it, but I'm a researcher and I have studied and I have learned a lot. And I'm a mom of 5, grandmother of 15, and brand new great grandma to a little one that was just born last December. Oh, her birthday's not coming to my mind right now. But I love children and they love me. I was born to inspire them. I love writing children's books. I have 50 right now that are all written but being formatted to be uploaded to Ingram Sparks, Lulu Press, and Amazon KDP, but it's taking me a good deal of time because of the device limitations and vision. So I have to have help with it, and I'm getting it done. I also create toys surrounding my characters, and I have been doing edutainment events for children. I live in France now. My husband's in retirement mode, but I'm still running a company now based on social media use, YouTube channels, and using AI. There, that's all in a 1 minute, 59 seconds. I got my little introduction. So for you that don't know me and haven't looked at all of the other videos yet, you'll know me little by little. I'll always have some conversation about children, education, and anything to do with keeping them happy. They need to live in wonder. I just finished the real talk on the keep keep the wonder, meaning that sense of wonder in their life. They have a right to keep that, and we shouldn't be rushing them past it. Now I talked after that about listen to them, why it's important to listen to them. And right now I'm going to move into a different subject. But I want you to know why I'm doing this. In case as a parent, academic leader, teacher, or homeschooler, grandma, au pair, nanny, babysitter, you don't get into my books, you don't check out my YouTube channels where I've got cartoons and other things emerging right now, I want one shot at saying to you, consider being a part of my Penny Lane community where we're going to talk about all things that are good for children and what you and I can do about it to make this a better world for them. And so even if we just have conversations, you hear what I'm saying and you comment, so I'll hear and I'll respond to what you're saying. Maybe email, and maybe when I'm get to the stage where I can go live on YouTube, I can invite you to have conversations. I want this to be a two-way conversation between that village that's raising your children and my Penny Lane community of other villagers raising children and educators and everything. And let's see what we can do to contribute one to the other. I'm here for that. And I mean it sincerely. If you know sincerity when you see it, then you can figure out me. I've been like this for 51 years now, so I'm not really getting ready to change. I don't want to travel like I used to, even with writing books. I'm not that excited about going on. I've been traveling my whole life. If you say to me, oh, you're going to have a book signing, I'm not jumping out of my skin for that, because that means the plane, which I actually love flying plane, but hotel rooms and travel, and I just don't feel like it. I like to travel for leisure, but I don't really want to travel for work, because I did that for 30 some years. Anyway, I want to use social media now that I've learned about it, and I want to invite, because I've discovered that people have millions, just a few, just hundreds, just thousands, millions, or even billions of viewers following them in their process and receiving from them as the YouTuber with their content. And I said, okay, well, I can do that and I can stay at home. I only have one channel that I have to put on makeup and earrings and something decent and fix my hair, depending on what hair it is. Um, and that's Penny Lane, where I come on live. Everything else is something I have made a cartoon of or a music video of, or I'm right now creating a whole cartoon network called Lady Treasure Tunes. You can go check it out. I'd love for you to. But I'm really not about advertising that with this series. I'm about telling you what I'm here for. You can look me up, but I want us to talk. I want us to talk. So I'm doing all the talking now as I'm getting to know you, and I'm hoping you're getting to know me, and I hope you'll be a part of my Penny Lane community. Real quick, I'm going to tell you where I got the name Penny Lane. My favorite aunt's name was Penny, and I had a lot of great uncles and aunties. My grandma had 12 children, and that's just my father's side. Then I lived on Wall Avenue in Ogden, Utah, and I combined Aunt Penny's name and my favorite street because my grandma on my mom's side lived at one end of Wall Avenue, and my grandma on my dad's side lived at the other avenue, same street, and I got some great memories from that street. So I took that and named my umbrella company Penny Lane for that reason. And I did a video I call Stitch Story. I just thought of this. I didn't say it. We're on number 9 right now, and I didn't tell anybody. But you go and look for I Remember Penny Lane. It's a song I wrote, and I have a music video. I call it Stitch Story, where you use the craft of knitting or crocheting or whatever. Some people use felt, they do it in sculpture, they do it in clay. I love anything artistic. And I chose crochet and knitting. So the whole town, everything, flowers, house, kids, everything looks like it's knitted and crocheted, and it's called Penny Lane. Anyway, but the thing about that is everything in that story and song lyric is true. That's my history behind the name Penny Lane. So I'm going to share that with you. All right, anyway, so I said to myself, if people don't get into buying, there's a group of people that might buy a book or a toy or come to an event if I do some, or when I open an edutainment eatery, which is a big dream, or follow me on the other channels and let their children experience what I create. But I will have conversation, keep on going all the time, so I can learn from you what you would really like your children to be experiencing online. And if I can do it, I want to do it. I want to talk to real parents. So I'm talking now on the subject of faith. I thought about this. I'm an educator, entertainer, inspirational person, but I'm also a minister. But it might surprise you to know that I'm not one of those people who religiously thinks that it is proper to force my faith upon others. I don't. I don't think that's right at all. People have the right to choose how they believe, which way they experience things, if they believe in being spiritual at all. We all have that freedom. For those of us who believe in God, God gave us that freedom. So you can't say there's a God and then tell people they have to believe this or have to believe that. That's just not, it's not the way it is. That's just not true. People have the liberty to believe or not to believe. So I thought about this. Did I want to make it one of the 20 subjects that I was going to do this marathon, how to raise happy children thing on? And I thought, I don't think I can personally be the authentic me and not do it, but I do want to give the disclaimer. If I'm talking to any parent of any religious faith, please listen to me with your whole, I'm sharing my whole heart. And if you will listen to me with really open, good listening ears, as I say to the kids, you'll feel me. I'm not trying to be religious. I'm not trying to force you to believe anything. I'm not trying to tell you to force your children to believe anything. I'm asking you to be open to the idea that it is difficult enough to live everyday life for children and adults, people of all ages, with no faith whatsoever. But if you have a faith, how it inspires and encourages you from within. I base what I believe in the Bible and that there is a God who is our creator and father of all. But you don't have to believe that. And listen to me. Please know, I still want you to be have a conversation with us on this channel because there are things I can learn from you. And it might be something I say that you can learn from me. I have too many friends of different faith and ethnicities, and I'm a well-traveled person. I've been all over lots of places I haven't been yet either, but we're on our way to Birmingham, England in just about 7 days. We're always going somewhere. We're going to go to Switzerland and Portugal I've been to, but I've never been to Spain. We got plans. As long as we're living and breathing, we're going. But there are so many things that are possible when we trust one another and just talk. So I'm inviting you. I'm going to talk about my faith right now, but I'm inviting you. If you don't want to hear about this, it's okay. Just don't watch the rest of this one. But I'm still inviting you. Don't throw me away and say, I'm not listening to that Lady Treasure with that Penny Lane kids, books and toys and whatever, and she's going to be telling my child about Jesus. I'm going to be talking about God all the time. I have a faith-based channel called the Praise Break Nation. And all the stuff I want to make sure children hear from the faith-based vibe, I put on there. All the rest of my channels are general, inspirational, education. If I'm teaching math, I got a math song. If I'm teaching science, I got a song about the planets. And it's nothing about faith or God or the Bible. And for you that are religious and think that that is me being ashamed of Christ, don't waste your time with me. I'm just too old to be made feel guilty about stuff that I just will not buy. God believes in education. And every child is not going to be homeschooled. And every child is not going to go to a Christian school. And those children are doing pretty well. Some are struggling. Some don't do well. They need a private group setting. They need small groups. I've been into all of it. I've helped a lot of homeschool programs. I've done homeschooling with grandchildren. And for a short period of time, my teenage children, when we made a move, I had to have homeschooling set up. You don't have to say Jesus, Jesus, Jesus 500 times a day in order to be a person of faith. And you don't have to reject people because they don't believe in him. God is about love. That's my real talk from my heart. So I'm an edutainer, meaning I combine education and entertainment to inspire your child to learn and grow and be happy. That's what I do in general. On Praise Break Nation, Bible, memorization, scripture, all about faith, all of it. But on these other channels, it's not what I do. So here I'm talking about the subject of faith because I don't want to go to 20 talking points on raising happy children and skip the idea that a child does not need to believe in something more powerful than they, because they do. So whatever your faith is, I hope you're sharing that with your child. I hope you know that they need to know that this flesh and blood body they live in, the family that they live with, the house they live in, that's not the only thing happening. That there is more power and more faith and more beauty and more wonder outside of that, and that they should stay open to it. At the same time, I am careful not to invite children to just investigate everything at any age, because that's dangerous as well. So keep a balance when it comes to the subject of faith. Don't be prejudiced and unloving and think God has got your back, because that's not the way he is. I say that to the churchy folks who think I'm shying away from Christ when I say I'm just into entertainment. I said I do both, but I don't do both on every channel. I only need one channel to do that. But here at Penny Lane, it's where the only place where I'm flesh and blood, me talking. The rest are faceless and avatars and cartoons. So if I come on to talk to people, I can't do that without saying I believe in God. I wouldn't be true to myself. Nor would you be true to yourself if you didn't say you believed in Muhammad or the Baha'i faith or Judaism or whatever your faith is. So I would like for us to be a community of kind, trusting people. And I'm going to tell you something about me that comes straight from my heart as I end this particular subject. I don't really use the word inclusion or toleration. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I think they are chicken out words. I think they're too lightweight. I think we need to love each other. And love goes way beyond toleration. Love goes way beyond inclusion. I'm mocking it because I don't like the idea that we think that if I just include everybody, that makes me a good person. And so everyone can come around me. Peace, love, hope, 1970s. That's the era I was a teenager. I'm all about it. There's still a little hippie in me. I'm a boho dresser. But I don't prove that you are valuable to me by just including you in the room. I prove that you are valuable to me when I love you. And I love you just the way you are. Every race, creed, color, sexual orientation, all of it. So for all the Christian folks, this is my faith statement for Penny Lane. Everybody's welcome here. If you've got children and you want to talk about raising children, I'm your girl. And I'm open to hearing you. Little story, I always share one when I can. I knew a lady. She loved me, I loved her, she still does, I know it. If I saw her today, if I went back to Michigan and her area and she was still there, we would greet each other with ridiculous joy. Her name is Lisa and her daughter's name is Claire. Wow, we had such a connection. Her daughter's gifted and I had a school of performing arts. Academics, high standard, and we used a high standard curriculum, and it was accelerated Christian education, and it had very high, you had to keep an A, 80% and above in order to perform in the performing arts part. I did all of that to cover everything. Her mother loved my program, and she put her daughter in my school. Well, they also believed in witchcraft. And a moment came, she told me about that, I told her about my faith. We're still friends. We don't have a problem. Treasurer Lisa, good. Claire, Treasurer Lisa, same room, all good. Her dad, we were fine. But we had one moment where Claire came home and quoted a scripture. And her mom came and asked for a meeting with me, and she said, I don't want her to read the Bible. I said, okay, I understand that, but when you signed her up, I'm just messing with her because we talked plain. I'm a plain talker all my life, pretty much straightforward. I said, when you signed her up, you knew that that was a Christian curriculum, so scriptures are within it. They're learning math, they're learning science, they're learning history, geography, all of that, but scripture is in it because that's the curriculum I use. She said, I know, I did. I did know about it, but now I'm hearing her quote scriptures and it's making me uncomfortable. So I made a deal with her. I'm going to tell you how I am, who I am. And if you don't accept this, it's okay. I accept the fact that you may not want to be a part of the Penny Lane community. We're not a church group. I am a minister. I do all kinds of things to do with the ministry. My husband and I take care of 2 orphanages, and the third one we are an assistant to. But the 2 we take care of, we're the sponsor for. And we're all about benevolence and ministry. But I don't believe in throwing people away. I don't believe in pushing people aside. And I don't just believe in including them or tolerating them either. I love them. It's genuine, God-given agape love for them. So I love Lisa. So I said, Lisa, let's do this. Not one time have I said to Claire, you can't talk about witchcraft here. She's like, you know what? You're right. Claire, she lets me know. She's playing around with this and playing around with that and learning about this and talking to the trees and all into the universe and the earth and the herbs and the things. And I never acted like it was strange because it wasn't to me. She's a little girl budding and learning. She may do everything her mother is sharing, or she may do everything I am sharing, or she may not do anything either one of us are sharing. She's just developing, and we're a part of her world. And she sat there, and she said to me, you know, you're right. I said, I haven't stopped her from doing any of that, so how about we make a deal? I'll leave her free to check out all the witchcraft that you want, Wiccan religion, whatever. She actually wasn't into the Wiccan religion. She was just more into the Celtic practice of a kind of a worship with nature thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Witchcraft was a part of it. And I said, I'll leave her alone with that, and you leave her alone with me in the Bible. How about that deal? Because you like for her to be an independent thinker, you told me. So if we let her experience both, she can choose. 100% Lisa's language. Nobody lost out. I didn't get to be on my high horse and religious and say, how dare you come to my Christian school? You've paid for the tuition for the year. It's prepaid. I can't do anything about it. So I guess if you don't want to learn about the Bible, she has to leave. What? That's not the gospel. That's not the way God works. Jesus said, suffer the little children to come unto me and forbid them not. You don't say your mom is letting you learn how to worship a tree so you're not allowed in my room. No. Tell me what you learned about the tree today. I'm good. I'm not scared of this stuff. Oh, honey, I'm into children when I tell you I'm into them. I care about what they're experiencing, and I listen, I pay attention. That mother bought what I said. That baby learned the Bible the rest of that school year because it was part of the curriculum. And I listened to her talk about her other faith system and belief system, and her mother and I had always been close. That was a win-win as far as I'm concerned. For all my religious leaders, baby, I know some. Oh, the bishops I know. Oh, the missionaries I know. They're just going to holler back at me and say, no, you did not just say that you let a child study, practice witchcraft with her mama and come to you and learn the Bible. And I'm going to say, yes, I did. And what? What did you do lately with a child that was into witchcraft? You dissed them, you insulted them, and you dismissed them. And I don't know how that gave them any hope or help. Oh, baby, I'm the wrong one for this. Okay? I'm going to do what's best for the child every time. And if we can't agree, parent, teacher, or edutainer, then I defer to you because that's your child. And I back off. And I'm available to whoever does receive what I do. All right, end of faith talk. 22 minutes, 11 seconds. I'm not keeping to 15 minutes. I got to go on. That's number 9. Next is coming up. I'll see you again on Penny Lane.